Ladies and gentlemen, it all comes down to this. Ninjas in pajamas versus 4 anchors and a sea captain. It is game number 3 of a best-of-3 series, and we're in the losers bracket. Loser of this will go home. Winner will move on. And, well, it's a big game. Ninjas in pajamas, they took the first game in about 20 minutes, 24 minutes flat. And they did so in style. Arrow playing a Drow Ranger. They had the Drow Visage combo. It was quite impressive for ASC. Well, NiP gave them the Matumba Man Slark, and guess what? He had a field day. The Boogie Bloodseeker as well was quite a game to watch. Ladies and gentlemen, last game of this series, but don't worry, there'll be more Dota afterwards as well. Thanks for joining us here on DotaPit League Season 3, the qualifiers. We've already had so many great games. It's been a lot of fun to cast. My name's Mont. With me today is F4L. How are you, man? Hello?
Sorry, I'm doing pretty good. I had it muted.
Seconds remaining.
Just
That's
working
right.
on it.
I understand, man.
Anyways, yeah, this should be a really good game 3. Both of these teams, having strong performances in their respective games. I think the NiP game was a bit more convincing. 4ASC definitely showing some promise in the last game with that jungle Bloodseeker, showing something new, and we'll have to see what these two teams have in store this game. 4ASC first picking the IO. Is this going to be some sort of Wisp combination?
But the question is with what? And that's the most important thing.
Yep.
There's so many different combinations. We've seen a lot of Wisp
Tiny recently, actually.
It's a good combination. It's the tried and true, the old school, if you will.
Tried and true. Yes, indeed.
And by tried and true, I mean, it's not fun to play against.
There was a while when we were seeing a lot of PA Wisp.
Yeah.
Especially from teams like Secret.
Yep.
They were even doing Wisp Necro.
There's like a little bit of IO Riki in there, here and there, but that's more longer ago than anything else.
Naga Siren.
Yes, the Naga IO. This is the combination that the only team I've seen them run this, actually super successfully.
Secret did it.
Yeah, Secret. That's right. Last season, you and I were casting that game, and they did it mid. Kuroki had
a field day.
Yeah, his GPM was up there. It was
like
almost a record, I believe. It was up to 800 at least. Yeah, you're right around that ballpark.
It was absolutely insane.
I mean, that's what happens when you give No Tail and Kuroki free farm in the mid lane, and they get kills, and on top of that, they also get plenty of CS. So.
Interesting that they actually banned the Tiny, because I think they've already picked their IO hero in the Naga Siren.
Could be a support.
I mean, I think it's just good to have, when you pick IO, it's good to have a hero that just utilizes the mana regen and the health regen. Naga can just spam illusions, Riptide, and Wisp can just be that walking fountain where he walks around, tethers the Naga, gives him more mana, more health, so he can keep pumping out illusions and spamming the Riptide. IO, it's not as good in the fact that you don't really want to stack for a Naga, because Naga can't clear stacks. Naga only farms singular camps, but
you're free to do other things, though, with the IO at that point.
Yeah. You don't have to be so tied down to the mid lane like you do with the Tiny, where you're just constantly stacking, then giving him mana, stacking, giving mana.
Yeah. It's, honestly, the Naga Siren IO combo I enjoy, but like I said, it could be support at the same time. But for now, 4AC, it's going to be fun. Naga is quite the hero in this situation. We talked about the hard carries and the win rates in the last game, and Moppax had that nice stat, who, by the way, ditched us for this game. Shout out to Moppax. But, yeah, he I think it was like, 58% or something for that stat that he put up? I can't even remember at this point. But
for which stat?
He put up the hard carry stats, and who had the highest win rate?
It was 59, I believe.
Okay, right around there.
Definitely a high win percentage. NiP go for the first pick Venge with the Viper, and 4ASC respond by banning out the Dro, not wanting to play against the Dro strat, which NiP played a very solid and well-executed Dro strat, so not too surprising that they just go ahead and ban out the Dro. Instead, they just go for the Axe.
Yeah. Axe, he's a manly dude. He's red all over, nice beard, weird beard. He's a big guy.
He's a weird beard.
Yeah, he's a weird guy. He's a big guy, but hey, listen.
I never actually looked at his hair before.
Yeah, you don't really notice that. We're gonna get real deep in the lore through the season of DotaPit, guys. We're gonna learn it for you. I kind of want to, but
pretty good against Naga Siren. In that early to mid game stage where Axe really is shining, is able to clear out the illusions, and also the call is quite nice. Call is actually just good against every hero. But
all right, we're gonna talk about every game Axe has picked. Call good.
Call good, yes. Mini RP on 10-second cooldown.
Yeah. Good ability. Ice Frog, yay.
Oh, a Spirit Breaker game.
My
All right,
lord.
this should be quite exciting. This hero always delivers in the excitement factor.
It does, that's true. But the problem I have with Spirit Breaker, well, I don't have it personally, but I think the problem most Spirit Breakers have is that later on down the road, how effective is he going to be in the game? Does he bring enough of a presence? Will he have like an Urn or a BKB or something to provide any extra damage with? Yes, he's going to probably get a ton of kills or at least assists. I hope so early on in the game for 4ASC. Otherwise, this game could get out of control. And NiP, the 4th pick Lycan, and went to Value Town. Oh, man, big lots for this Lycan pick, I'll tell you what.
It's sort of, I mean, we always talk about how it's somewhat similar to the Dro, not quite the same effect. The Howl does help during the laning phase. Obviously not as good as having the constant Dro aura, but, you know, a similar effect at times. You know, definitely a value pick at that 4th position. Definitely good on the dire side with the Vengeful Spirit. Going to be very easy to get the Roshan. And once he gets the Vlad's most likely going to leave the lane, let one of these supports get that experience. So I like this pickup a lot.
Solid choice. I mean, we'll see where they want to lane him. 8mother probably playing the Viper this time around. They could switch it up, though. Safe lane Lycan, it's more mid lane Lycan, I think. But you could do either, I guess, but it depends. I never really understood the advantages of one over the other. Safe lane Lycan, you're going to get more CS, but I guess mid Lycan, you get more experience and you can get rune control as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think Naga is actually quite good against Lycan, though. You can just ensnare him during the team fight.
Right.
If he pops the BKB, you can just sleep. So.
And the Bane as well. They're really going all out. They want to make sure he gets shut down. Phoenix Script's got to do a nice job of that. But I
Bane is
seen this hero
also
a lot.
I actually like Bane with Wisp in particular. You can smoke yourself or try to get a gank going. You can either start it off with the Nightmare or the Fiend Script and then just have a simple relocate gank.
10 seconds remaining.
Definitely when you pick a Wisp lineup, it's really nice to have these heroes that help you set up relocate ganks, and they have 2 of them right now, the Spirit Breaker and the Bane. You can just charge someone into relocate, grip someone into relocate. I like the draft coming out from 4ASC so far.
I think you're exactly right. It's not just the Bane who might have trouble closing the gap. Spirit Breaker, that's pretty much all he does is close the gap. That's literally his entire job. If he can't close the gap, then, well, he's got some issues. And with the Spirit Breaker followed up by a Bane, I'm sure they'll have enough lockdown to be able to secure a lot of these kills, Lycan included. Well, they will have Viper. He'll have Corrosive Skids. He'll have some sort of magical resistance going his way. It might be tough to bring him down. Same could be said for the Axe, but as long as they deal with this Lycan, they should be in an okay position. And 4ASC, again, this time they're the ones that have to survive for... Well, actually, they had to survive in the first game as well, but Ninjas and Pajamas, they can maybe take them down, take down the towers, and do the same thing they did in that first game, albeit a bit differently with a Lycan instead of the Dro.
Yep. And what are they going to ban? So it looks like it's going to be the safe lane hero probably for 4ASC. Unless they want to put the Naga in the safe lane, maybe they'll ban another Wisp hero. So it's going to be a Zeus ban. Kind of interesting. I guess it would be sort of aiding in their pseudo global with the Spirit Breaker as well as the relocate. So
Right.
It's a respectable ban.
Right. So wait, what do they need here for 4AC? I'm sorry, I'm not sure if you said that already, but
Safe laner
yeah, okay.
or a mid hero because they can
10
still safe lane Naga, but it's less common.
And you're gonna have a Bane along the ride with that safe laner.
Dire team pick.
Yeah.
What do you think? You could maybe put a Puck there, but I don't know. You kind of want to keep him alone for the most part. And Puck wouldn't be a terrible idea, I don't think. What other options are there?
I don't know. They're pretty much free to pick whatever they want, to be perfectly honest.
That's the problem. There's so much to choose from here. NiP, they have a need for a support currently. They already have Viper Axe Lycan. So
I'm just hoping that
5
4AC
seconds
don't get too greedy like they did in the first draft, picking up two really cores that need a lot of space, like they picked Terrorblade and Shadow Fiend. I'm just hoping that they pick something that
10
gets
seconds
more
remaining.
involved earlier. Maybe something like a THD,
yes,
Potom even, something
maybe
like
Potom
this.
could work, yeah.
Although Potom's not so good against Lycan because the Wolves can just block the arrow.
True. Tusk, last pick for NiP, and Yeah, this is the patch of Tusk, man. Tusk and Line, they're starting to get into it. Well, Axe more so than anybody else, but I mean, we've seen numerous Tusk picks over the past couple of days of DotaPit since it started. And AoE Disruption, one way to avoid getting ganked by Spirit Breaker or Relocate. Well, you have that Snowball. It's pretty solid.
10 seconds.
And
remaining.
Sigil, pretty good as well.
Jug is available, actually. They
Yeah.
could have the...
5
Now
seconds.
the Centaur coming out.
Yeah.
So
Well, we knew it needed to be something that got involved early, so...
that's certainly one.
Definitely liking this Centaur pick instead of, like in the previous game where they had 2 cores that really need a lot of space. So instead getting a Space Creator, they have this really strong 4-man squad, even the 3-man squad, and then they can relocate the Naga in possibly. So I'm really liking this draft from 4ASC this game.
Yeah, this is a solid draft. Would you give the edge to 4AC just based on the draft alone in this game?
No, because I think NiP, they have a lot of... Sure, they have Tusk, but Snowball potential.
Oh,
But,
yes, there it is. I want more of that.
No,
Puns
like-
keep 'em coming.
once this Axe gets the blink, they really have... They can run at you like nothing else. I mean, they have the Tuskar who can snowball at you. They're going to have an Axe with a blink. And the Lycan with his shapeshift. So there's going to be a lot of potential in this mid game. And if 4ASC aren't prepared, don't have maybe the numbers, it could get a bit tricky, especially because this Naga is not going to be able to fight in the early game.
Well, the microcosm of the game. We'll see it early on here. We'll see which team gets off to the fast start. And again, all the marbles here for both of these squads. They don't want to go home early. A lot of high expectations for both of these teams to get to the DotaPit group stages and compete at the top level. And we'll see if they can move forward here, which one. So, as we start the game, NiP, your Swedish squad, it'll be 8mother heading up to, I think, the top lane here on the Viper.
30
Mid lane, it is going to be
seconds.
Era playing her Lycan mid. Down bottom, Aggro Trilane maybe. Coming out, Hanskin is your Tusk. Seal Kid is your Vengeful Spirit. And Jonas Van is going to be your Axe. And he'll round out the lineup. That'll be NiP.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to do with this little... They're just going to contest the bottom rune, I believe. I don't think this is actually an aggro tri-lane, but... Anyways, for 4 anchors and the Sea Captain, we're going to have Boogie playing the offlane Spirit Breaker. Nobber
The
playing the
battle
Wisp.
begins.
In the mid lane, we're going to have... Where is he? Nymphy on the Naga Siren. Playing the Centaur is going to be Matumba Man. And last but not least, they're all moving all over the place. Valix is going to be playing the support Bane.
Good work. That was tough, I know.
They were actually all moving all over the place.
They decided to play musical lanes. It looks like they understand what's happening in terms of...
Oh, it is going to be an
NiP's
aggro
laning.
tri-lane.
Yeah, they're looking like they want to put pressure here, and well, they're gonna find Spirit Breaker. I'm not sure that's the one they wanted. They're gonna have a dueling to deal with top with Valix as well as the Centaur, and the Nightmare Stomp combo. It's real, and as good as Viper might be, and as tanky as he might be with magic resistance, he could easily get caught by a Nightmare Stomp combo. He's got to keep himself.
Definitely an easy kill if they can get that Nightmare off. They probably need level 3, a little bit of harass on him, but after that point, it's going to be an easy kill.
And this mid lane is not going to be easy for Aaron, so he can get a couple levels and get his wolves up and ready to go. Seal Kid will stay nearby, I imagine, but I don't know how much Aaron's going to be able to accomplish here.
I'm actually surprised they put the Lycan mid instead of the Viper. I think Viper would have had a lot more success. It's a ranged hero. You can harass the Wisp. You can get CS. I mean, it's not gonna be so easy to deny a Viper, but it's much easier to deny this Lycan.
Knowing Era, well, he's actually going to get ensnared. Now there's going to be the Tether. There's the overcharge
he's
as
in a
well.
lot of
Tether
trouble.
slow the Spirit to the right click. That'll be first blood for NiP. And that's a big pickup. And again, we saw this. Oh, top lane maybe in trouble. Ice shards. Right click coming in. There's going to be the Nightmare on the Seal Kid, but it doesn't matter. 8mother right clicks too strong. Poison Touch going to work. Valix in trouble, and the Salve not going to work out in his favor. Magic Missile. Can they get Matumba Man? Body blocks from Hanskin. He can't get there in time, but the Snowball stuns him out. He's too tanky, I think, although they did a lot of damage to him. But
I think they could have gotten that kill. Why didn't they? Could have snowballed all 3 of these heroes.
I think
He
they would have been
just
under the tower
instantly-
if that would happen. I don't know.
It would have been close, but I think Snowball, it moves so fast once you have a bunch of heroes in it.
That does.
I think it would have gotten to him before getting under the tower.
I wanted to talk about this middle lane. It's a lot like what
When
we
he
saw.
got in snare.
Yeah, I mean, this is
Yep.
no. That's not surprising to me. The thing is just that Era has to be careful. We've seen how much damage this lane in general could do against solo laners. We saw it from Secret last season.
Yeah, I think Era got surprised actually by the point in ensnare, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think Secret did the exact same thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Where
sure.
they got Ensnare at level 2 and then they just went for a kill.
Mm-hmm.
It does a surprising amount of damage, and you can dive the tower really hard with Naga. You have 8 armor.
And they're going to go again.
they're doing
Riptide
it again?
already went. Tether slows up, and the Spirits are
It's
just going to get... And Era is having a rough time, and they need to reconsider their laning configuration here, I think. And
It's a
Nemphy's
really
gonna heal
rough
up.
lane for NiP Era specifically.
I mean, the IO already has a bottle, which you get first anyways. You save up, and then you get your bottle, and he's going to have boots right on top of that. Jodison Fan is going to be in some trouble here. He's going to get body blocked by Boogie. Bash Lord. Ice Frog is with him. The counter Helix proc's going as well. And he doesn't have Berserker's Call. Battle Hunger is going to go. Boogie in trouble. Brain Sap not doing that much damage. Counter Helix procs need to be there, but Boogie is going to back away. He's playing the smart. Wave of Terror. I don't think he'll go down to the Battle Hunger. One more tick. He'll stay alive. And now, actually, Jodison Fan is staying alive. But Tumbaman's here as well. He has no mana for Stomp, and they're thinking about running back in for both squads. They can't really decide what to do. They're just saying, hey, how are you? I see you there. I see you're low health, but no. Summon double edge. Charge from Boogie. That does nothing.
That was
And they rotate.
a bit worrisome if he had actually completed that.
8 Mothers mid, by the way. They've changed it up, and
Yep.
this is a good. I think this is a good decision.
I feel like these should have been the starting lanes, though. But, you know, they end up getting the lanes 2 kills later, unfortunately, for Era. But now they have 8 Mother in the middle lane. Gonna fare a lot better up against this dual lane, but they can still kill this hero as well.
24 last hits, despite going down twice. Era is actually the CS leader. Kind of impressive. Hanskin and
Yeah, that
Valek's
is
going to run
superb.
right into each other. Ice Sigil's ready. He has Ice Shards. He's got Stonewall. He's got his entire kit ready. And Valek just says, listen, you're going to sleep. Good night, buddy. Let me just get in your
Getting
way.
the body block.
Yeah, don't even think about going for this. And it's really smart from Hanskin, or rather Valek's, but unfortunately, nothing comes of it, really. Actually, they might go for the kill. Might actually turn poorly on Valek's, but no, just some harass.
Both players just trying to get off as much body block as they possibly could. A little bit of a miscommunication, I think. Had 8 Mother continued onto that with Hanskin, they might have been able to actually get that kill, but starting to walk back towards the mid lane after the shards were cast, unable to get those poison attacks off. And now it looks like Wisp starting to do the stacks. Maybe just stacking so that he can clear them himself. It is something you can do on the Wisp.
Centaur, too. The Centaur is a good target for those stacks.
Oh yeah, Centaur can do it as well.
You can get the Blink Taker early on, and that's the thing. You don't have to maybe necessarily give Nemphy all the farm. I mean, if you're going to be playing with a Naga Star, you want to get your Centaur to a Blink as quickly as possible. Have them create as much space as possible, and one way to do that is stack up and have them double edge it. Stomp.
Yeah, and
Oh man, but
these
Tumbaman
lanes
is
are
low. Berserker's Call is still not there. Battle Hunger, double edge. The Nightmare comes in, but it's too late. Valek's now magic missiled up, and he's going to get chased down. Seal Kid juggles the Nightmare. Giannis Fan is in some trouble, taking more right-click damage. He has level 6. He's got Coaling Blade already, but they've got to be careful. Nemphy, in the meantime, does get 8 Mother into the mid lane here, and they just destroy another hero.
Kid giving him the TP scroll so that he can actually just TP out of this.
Magic Missile,
Dangerous
Hanskin coming in.
situation.
Ice Shards are available. You have the usage of that Snowball as well, but Tumbaman says no. The Stomp comes through, and really nice play
and-
from Hanskin.
Tower
Or Seal
under
Kid.
attack.
This Naga's going to have to do some serious work this game. I know he's 3-0 right now, but not really the best CS, only sitting at 34.
But look at
40
his
CS on the Lycan.
his gold is up there. He doesn't need to go for the bottle either because they have the IO. And now 8 Mother getting caught again with an ensnare. He wants to get this IO, and he can't get it done. It's just too much damage, actually. Snowball is going to come through, looking for the IO, not going to find him, only finds the illusion. Hanskin, he's alone. He's just going to maybe just feed himself. The Ice Sigil is going to fly through. The ensnare, they're diving. Nemphy's here alone. He could get this kill. Riptide up in 1, but he doesn't have the mana. Stick charge from Hanskin, baiting in the Naga even further. Now there's going to be the Ice Shards. There's the shapeshift from Era, and Nemphy's in some trouble. No mana for his usage of that Song of the Siren. Mirror images get blown up immediately. And that's Naga dead for 30 seconds. Finally, they get revenge. They say, screw it, we finally kill this Naga. We don't want the IO, we want the damn Naga, but maybe we'll get the IO instead. Tethers to the creep, but he's still going to die to the wolves, and Era gets a double kill. And they're turning it around. Down bottom, well, they at least lose the Axe here as 4 AC. Rotate 3 heroes in, and that's a 2-for-1 trade in the end, but across the map.
Radiant's middle
Yeah.
tower is under attack.
And
Radiant's
honestly, these
structures
lanes are not
fortified.
going so well for 4ASC. If we look at the CS charts, NiP having the top 2 CSers in the Axe and the Lycan. The mid lane did go very well for the Naga Siren, sitting at 4 and 1. So Naga is having a very strong game, but I mean, if we look at Matumba, man, he is struggling mightily this game. 8 minutes in the game, does not even have the Tranquil Boots. His Blink Dagger is going to be not in an ideal timing.
Luckily, they do have the stacks coming out, so he can catch up, but it's a lot like what Jodasum fan had in that last game on that Side Hunter. Sort of a role reversal coming out between the two players. And, well, that's the problem. This Naga is going to have to do some heavy lifting. And 2,000 gold, obviously the depth doesn't help, but without needing the bottle, you can get to that relic very early on. And actually, NiP is going to be taking this stack. With Overcharge and Riptide and Mirror Images, it might not be impossible. It's kind of difficult to deal with, but they seem to be having an okay time going at it. And yeah, Neighbor is just healing him up like crazy.
Smoke gank from NiP. Looks like it's just going to be for the Roche attempt. Maybe they'll create some space with these other two heroes, or they're just scouting, possibly.
So forget what I said about giving Matumba Man the stack. Screw it, they give it to NiP. They know where their bread and butter is.
I mean, that's good, but I think it honestly would have been better served onto Matumba Man just because of how far behind he is. And sure, Centaur is pretty good in the late game, but he really thrives in that mid game once he gets that Blink Dagger, and it's going to be a very, very late timing.
Era soloing Roche at this point. Smoke on the other side of the map with Boogie and Valix. They're going to head towards the top lane, and they're looking for Jonathan Fan, who, by the way, very tanky. Went for the Vanguard. A smart choice because he can initiate with Snowball. And he can also get it later. Roche is going to go down, relocate top lane, and now they're going to show everything here on this axe. And Counter Helix is going to go in. He Berserker calls. Can he get any of these heroes? No Counter Helix procs going his way. He's still alive, but does go down in the end. Snowball coming in, and here comes there. But the song, they're going to reset the fight. And Nephi's going to back the hell out. They get the relocate gone, and Nephi is pretty, even with just Brown Boots, he's getting Ice Sigiled up here, and they're still chasing. How far will they go? There's the Wolves. They're going to chase him down into the secret shop, and Nephi in some trouble, but there's the tether. And now you're in too deep for Era. He does have the Aegis. Now they jump in. They blow up Hanskin, who got a little too far in. Era with the Aegis. It's about to be expended. They're going too far deep. They got to back up. Seal Kid.
He's going to get the Wisp.
Yeah, there's going to be the IO actually going down, but it doesn't matter. Seal Kid's getting absolutely owned right now by about 4 heroes. They're ganging up on him. Boogie's in trouble now, but Era's man fighting. Matumba Man gets the stomp off. 8 Mother chasing after him. Nemphi, can he get anything here? The Wolf's chasing after. There's the Mirror Images. They're going to try to body block. Oh, Nemphi with the plays, but now he actually blocks himself in. There's the Berserker's Call. He actually gave his life. The Culling Blade, and Era gets the kill. No Culling Blade is secured, but they stop the Naga Siren from farming. She stays at 2.7k gold. No relic for you just yet, Naga.
Radiant's middle tower is
And at the end of the day, I think that was an even exchange, although NiP did lose the Aegis, so slight favor for 4ASC there. Although they are going to get this mid-tier 1 tower, so pretty good for NiP, I would say. Getting the tower, lose for the Aegis, basically, because they traded 3 for 3.
Top lane, Culling Blade comes in, just caught the tail end of that, and again, Centaur having a tough time, but they're turning it. Fiend's Grip, that long duration, long range Fiend's Grip, it's going to come in, and they relocate as well. Jonas and Fan is going to fall. That probably shouldn't have happened, but that's the bug with the Bane and the animation, so.
I mean, if you hover over Fiend's Grip and how far it is,
yeah,
it was a good 200-300 units away from that circle.
It's something to do with, obviously, I mean, I'm sure you know, but casting the animation, yeah, well, all right.
It was just... That one doesn't make any sense, though, because he TP'd in and then casted Fiend's Grip.
Like, I think shift clicked it. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but regardless.
Oh, well. Anyways, NiP at the same time. You know, X does fall, but he gets that 1 kill and then starts pressuring this bottom lane, so it's going to be an Axe 1-for-1 trade, and they're going to secure this bottom tower.
NiP seem to thrive on this timing of pushing in towers and trying to fight early on in the game and making sure that the late game doesn't come online for 4ASC. They got away from it in game number 2, and game number 3 they're right back to it. But again, this is a bit more difficult. They have a Naga Siren who's very close to a Relic. This game could get dicey at some point in time. Although, NiP are having a fantastic time. You talk about the Blink Dagger from Matumba Man, it's still pretty far away.
Up to 700 gold, so no, maybe we'll see it in about 17 minutes if everything goes according to plan.
Jonathan Fan getting pretty close to his Blink Dagger. Well, still about 1,000 gold, but
he's probably going to have Vanguard Blink before Matumba Man even has just a Blink.
With the way they're taking towers, I'd say probably, yeah.
And NiP just continue to pressure these towers. There is going to be a sleep into charge onto Era.
Relocate. There's the Fiend's grip up, and Era's in some trouble here. But the snowball comes in beautifully from Hanskin. They're going to turn it around, but there's the stomp. Maybe double edge. Era trying to get away. Shapeshift not enough. They take down the IO. Walrus punch, but Man getting right click down. Ape Mother is just hitting people from the back lines, but now getting bashed up. The Nightmare is actually going to keep him Man alive. He finally does go down. Now the song. They definitely want these 2 kills. Ape Mother and Seal Kid in some trouble. He's going to buy his headdress. Cannot buy the mech just yet. Swap out Seal Kid trying to stay alive. No such luck. Ape Mother about 1 right click away from death. But the Sigil is doing so much work from Hanskin. Oh my god. Ape Mother, well, he's not going to make it. That's the only
way that he lives.
No, he's getting charged. He's Dunzo, McDunzo, Ape Mother. Good effort. Hanskin, especially with that Sigil going to work. But all the meanwhile, space created for Jonas and Fan. They're not going to get a tower bottom. They're going to get a top instead, and it's just a tier 1 at least.
I mean, on first glance, it would look like...
Oh, the courier! The courier! Oh, Jonas and Fan! He's so close. He doesn't have a blink. Oh, that had the relic on it, too.
Why didn't he Culling Blade?
Oh, man.
It works on couriers.
He's sick. That's unfortunate. I'd be puking. Valix.
He probably didn't notice it and just attacked it, and then was like, oh no, I could have Culling Bladed it. That's pretty unfortunate. They would have been able to deny the relic coming to the Naga. I think it's still okay. Like I was saying, on first glance, it would look like, oh, that's a complete disaster for NiP, but if you really think about it, they got a lot of damage onto this tier 2 tower. Axe gets time to get his Blink Dagger, that's flying to him, and this next 5v5 engagement is going to be pretty difficult for ASC.
Even with the Radiance, it's still tough. Again,
that's a 14-minute Radiance, though.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. Again, no bottle, though. That's the difference maker. Boogie getting chased down. Has Mask of Madness, and he's starting to get some farm in his own right. He's about 4th or 5th on the net worth chart. Speaking of net worth, 4,000 net worth lead for NiP, and an experience lead of about 500. The experience lead, pretty much negligible, but everything else is pretty solid. Hanskin, do they see Nymphy here? Era's nearby as well. They're going to try to snowball this. IO tether. Swap comes in. They get Man. Stampede, Ice Shards, Walrus Punch, keeping him locked in place. The stomp goes. Now the shapeshift for Era, and he's just going to right-click Man down as quickly as possible. No, he gets Nightmare, but he takes it off with a Wolf. Now the Fiend's Grip is going to go, but the Snowball from Hanskin, beautifully timed. 3 down now for 4 ASC. NiP diving the tower. They might get all 5 here if they're lucky. Here comes Jonas and Fan. Another call. Jams in a triple kill for your Axe player. He didn't like his Tide play last game. He is coming back with a vengeance here on this Axe, and they're going to go straight up to the high ground. Shades of Game 1 coming out. Same situation, different heroes, and they're looking to put pressure on this tier 3 tower.
I'm not too sure why Boogie has a Mask of Madness on the Spirit Breaker. I'm sure Mask of Madness is a fine item on this hero, but not given the current game situation. He needs to start working on a BKB.
Yeah.
His Mask of Madness is not going to do anything in these teamfights.
You want an item, though, in between those 2 items. You want to at least have something, but...
Maybe an urn.
Yeah.
But the problem with Mask of Madness, it's only good in these ganking situations or pickoff situations, not at what NiP is currently doing, so... Alright, that is kind of interesting. What you can do with charge and tether.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. You have
sort
to
of go on a ride.
Yeah, let me take your top lane out. Don't even worry about it. Listen, it's free of charge. Yep.
Yeah, NiP doing a really good job using their timings in both of these games that they've been on Dire. First with the Dro strat, now with the Lycan.
Necrobook 3 already done for the Lycan. He's smoked up. They're going to find Valix here with the Wolves, and unfortunately for Era, that's not the hero he wants to go on. He's going to get Nightmared. Fiend's Grip is down for 10. On the other side of things, Song goes, and Hanskin was looking for Nymphy. Wave of Tear, slow with the Ice Sigil. This Ice Sigil is just obliterating Nymphy in his movement speed, but actually, good Stampede. Well timed from Man to get away from that, but there's the Blade Mail. Blink, Berserker's Call. Counter Helix is up to relocate out, and it's too late. Double jam. You're not moving anywhere, says Jonas and Fan. Oh my.
Radiant's middle tower is under
This
attack.
man's heating up. Mega kill streak coming out. And NiP, they're feeling themselves right now. Top lane, TP in. Boogie, he's hightailing it out. Yeah, that snowball's not going to hit. Too far away. Can't catch. And Boogie will just jump away with his Mask of Madness pop. Empowering Haste not used.
NiP going to pressure this mid-tier 2 tower.
Necro's ready for an arrow. And there it goes.
I imagine they're going to start looking towards Roshan before they go for another high ground siege.
Tier 2 gone. One tier 2 left in the map. guess what? NiP have every single one of their towers. And it's almost like you go back to TI4 and that style of play where you're just knocking down towers, the Vici gaming style, it's working here for NiP. To be fair, though, they have a Naga, and they just can't. It's tough to be able to fight with a Naga and give away all of your towers like this, so.
Yeah, I mean, Naga's one of the better heroes when you lose all of your towers, but not when you lose a set of Rex. It's, what was it, 15 minutes?
Yeah.
16 minutes?
Yeah, that is
Yeah, I mean,
ridiculous.
Naga has her limits, even with the Radiance.
Yeah. She ain't no
Oh,
Dusa.
really good TP from SealKid. Barely getting that off before the charge came.
And honestly, it looked like NiP were flustered last game. This game, they know exactly what they want to accomplish, and every single play they make feels
Radiant's
so
top
calculated.
tower is under attack.
Yeah. They definitely feel very comfortable in these push strats.
Yeah.
Giannis and Pan in some trouble.
Relocate, maybe? Yeah, they bring him in, and actually they're going to Fiend's Grip him in. And probably for the best. This is going to be a kill, and they desperately need it. That's a mega kill spree going to Boogie. They probably would have liked to give that to Nemphy, but
Look how much damage he did to the Naga during that.
Yeah.
With the Blade Mail active. Did nearly half of his life before getting
without
healed.
counter
up from
helix
Lewis.
because of the Fiend's Grip either.
Yep.
Matamba Man is barely living. I don't know what happened there, but well, that's his blink done, and at least it's about 19 minutes. We thought 20, but
Yeah, and there's no contesting this Roshan that's going to come out from NiP since they have this bottom Rax constantly applying pressure and forcing Fourier C back. After this Roshan, I expect NiP to
Dire's top
go
tower
towards the
is
top
under
lane,
attack.
push that last
Dire's
remaining outer
structures are
tower,
fortified.
and then start looking towards the base. Probably the easiest Rax to get would be the top lane
Roshan has
at this
fallen
point,
to
since
the
they
bottom.
already have the bottom lane Rax. It's going to force Fourier C to decide, do we want to defend the bottom lane or let it start damaging our tier 4 towers, or do we just fight at the tier 3 top?
keep them spread out, starve them essentially.
Yep.
That's the best possible option. And Hansken's getting charged. There's a couple of heroes up here in the top lane. They see him. Boogie jumping in, but some man stop. But look at all these TPs coming in from NiP. Leave no man behind, they say. And Snowball and the swap. Matamba Man, good effort, but you're going to get walrus punched. And they deny the
Dire's
tower.
top tower has been denied.
You have to make those plays in order to get back into the game, but every time you lose those ganks, it just gets worse and worse. Boogie's still alive. The counter helix didn't really proc enough for them to get the kill, and obviously no Culling Blade to follow.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And Nemphy is split pushing.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Boss
I mean, there's
done.
nothing left. There's nothing else he can do right now. And NiP gonna pressure the top lane. This should be an easy tier 2 grab. Doubt for ESC are gonna defend this one. The defense is going to be at the tier 3 base tower, but
Dire's middle
I mean, we
tower
see this
is under
Naga,
attack.
but there's
Radiant's
not
top tower
really
has
anything to combo it with in this early game. Like, you
Like
can't.
a THG, for
Yeah,
example.
there's like the THG that we saw earlier today. There's no team fighting hero that you're comboing into. Sure, you might be able to get a centaur stun, but
Yeah, like there's
That's
no follow up here.
underwhelming.
You're just gonna all you're gonna do
You're
is
just
stave
delaying.
off. Yeah, delaying essentially what seems to be the inevitable. Maybe not though. Jump in, stomp comes through. Boogie's gonna charge it for the backside. Seal Kid, but there's the Snowball. Fiend's Grip onto Arrow. That's big, but he does have an Aegis. Snowball connects on the backside onto Matamba Man. He's trying to chase himself away, but Seal Kid getting low as well. Boogie going on to Seal Kid, gets one. Hans getting in trouble. He's going to fall as well to Boogie, it looks like. Now Jonas Fan comes in. He's ready to fight. On the other side, 8 Mother going to work. Matamba Man getting kited down. There's the Culling Blade. A couple heroes dead. Buybacks included coming through from the Bane. Boogie now on the... He's just on the run, and the Culling Blade is going to come. It's a bit too early for Jonas Fan, but he gets the double kill regardless with the counter helix proc, and that is going to be your top lane of Rex gone. Buyback status, what happened there? Let's see who bought back. Looks like 2 heroes, both the Bane and the Spirit Breaker. Spirit Breaker just bought back, charging through. He wants to try to defend this as best as possible. Go to the last of them. Era is going to fall. That is no Aegis on top of him. Jonas Fan is going to jump in. He pops the Berserker's Call, counter helix. The mech goes as well. 8 Mother just had that off cooldown, and now it doesn't matter. It's too late. They will lose their axe. 8 Mother getting caught out as well, but they're just trying to TP home and stay alive. They're just trying to stop the bleeding here.
and that's 2 set of Rex at 22 minutes. Pretty much game over at this point.
Oh, they're going to relocate on top of 8 Mother. They'll
How are
find
they
him,
gonna get
but...
this go? Wait! Oh, he canceled the charge for some reason, but it's not gonna matter.
Spirits? Maybe it will.
Is he gonna live?
One spirit. There it goes. They get the kill with the IO. And now actually Seal Kid's getting jumped on. Stomp, double edge, boom.
Valiant attempt by Seal Kid swapping out his carry, but gonna get him in the end using that Stampede. And like I said, 2 set of racks at 20 before 25 minutes. I mean, it's probably, if it's happened, if a team has come back from this sort of deficit, it's maybe happened one time.
No, it's been a couple times. I can remember, again,
2
this
set
was
of racks at 20 minutes?
well, maybe not 20. I don't remember exactly what time, but 2 sets of racks for sure. Ensnare, Riptide, Ice Shards. Era is dead. Actually, they're starting to turn this now, but there's the Walrus Punch and the Culling Blade. That does get the kill up onto Batamba Man. They're going to get another one. Naga is too low. Boogie is just trying to get out with his life, but he actually might make it. Berserker's Call just came off from the Unison fan. And Io has to head back home. All right.
Viper now finishing up the Aghanim Scepter. Going to be able to spam that out on all these heroes. Probably not the Naga, because it's going to be difficult to find the real one. But there's a lot of good melee targets here to kite around with the Spirit Breaker as well as the Centaur. Axe also finishing his own Aghanim Scepter, getting that nice. Oh, he's not level 16 yet, but it's going to soon to be a 625 HP threshold.
Let's just check out the HP on some of these heroes. All right.
For some of these heroes, you only need to do 300 damage to
Bane,
get into
300
that
damage. I don't know the HP pool yet of the Centaur. Spirit Breaker's 1400, so we need to do a bit more, obviously. 1400 for the Spirit Breaker as well. Io's 900, Bane's 900, Naga's 1400, so the supports essentially will die quickly. It'll take a bit more for the cores.
That is for certain. And I mean, what do you do at this point if you're 4 ASC?
You have to just hold on to the hope that NiP can take this game somehow 1v5 if necessary. Meanwhile, Boogie is just going on to Era, but this is not your... that almost feels like... he's just going without his team there, running rampant.
I sort of feel like even if you survive into this late game phase, we talked about it before, it doesn't feel like these heroes complement Naga Siren at all.
Blink Stomp, and then maybe your Naga just right-clicks. I don't know, Riptide. The whole goal, I think, for this lineup was to lock down the Lycan, but they forgot about all the other heroes, and Axe is just putting in work. I mean, that's another Culling Blade coming out. And 13-5-2, the opposite stat line that we saw coming out in that last game for the Tidehunter play from Jonathan Fan. He's redeemed himself by far.
He most certainly has.
Game's not over yet, but he is certainly doing an amazing job.
Yep.
And NiP are moments away from continuing on here in the qualifiers. And, well, for ASC, they've put up a valiant effort, but it's certainly not over yet. They've got to try their best to at least push these lanes out. Get Naga a Heart of Trask, as she already has her Manta style. NiP's getting farmed. Well, now Jonas Fan's going to come in. There's the song going through. They're going to tether away, but that song now on cooldown. Look at this, Era going mid, but Double Edge comes in, swap out. Magic Missile's going to fly, Viper Strike. Era has Shapeshift in 11, but it's too far. Boogie charging in. Era may be in trouble. The right click coming in from him as he hits the Nether Blast as well. Nether Strike, excuse me. Boogie still going to work. No bashes there. He gets right clicked down by 8 Mother. He's the only casualty so far for 4 ASC. As the rest of NiP are going to regroup. They're going to wait for Hanskin to get here in the mid lane. They're all healed up. The mech came through the bottle as well, the urn. They've got plenty of healing potential. The Wolves, the summons are gone for 66 seconds, but they can still take this tower with how Jonas Fan is going to do his best to get up to the front line and try to maybe jump in when he sees an opening. Radiant Spurn is doing a pretty good job of that. Batamba Man now, however, jumping in. There's the Snowball Walrus Punch. Batamba Man, Viper Stricken, no, that's going to be Valix. But Era going toe-to-toe, and Era's getting low. He is going to fall. Buyback coming in from the IO. Jonas Fan, Culling Blade one. Nephi, can he get the other one? Culling Blade doesn't even have the mana. He doesn't, but Nephi's still getting low, and he's going to get Walrus punched in the air. That's another way you can die, just by falling down to the earth at meteor-like speed. Nephi buys back, one of the last alive, but Man has to as well. And 8 Mother and the rest of the squad maybe decide to buy or to just back away here. They're getting low, but Jonas Fan, he will not take no for an answer. He'll get the kill. It's actually the ultra kill coming out from 8 Mother with his corrosive skin and poison touch. Man about to go down. Hanskin right-clicking and Boogie defending with all that he's got for ASC. They are not throwing in the towel. They will not go down lightly. And at this point, they defend this last set of racks, barely holding on to everything they got.
I mean, that was a dieback from Naga, so...
Yeah.
Towers are getting pressured by these creeps. They can't defend these super creeps coming out. Spirit Breaker desperately trying to clear out these waves. He does have really good items, actually, to push out these waves with the AC as well as the Mask of Menace, so...
Giannis Van just runs right down the mid lane, was thinking about going even further, but well, the
are
Rack's now under fire from an axe. 20 hacks from the Axe of Axe, indeed. He has this Crimson Guard, 8 Mother comes in as well, the Viper Strike onto Valix. Oh, that damage, though. Overcharge is going to keep him fighting fit. Fiend's Grip is up in 10. Going Blade ready to go. Blink Berserker's Call. Actually, is following Boogie. There's going to be... They really want this IO. They're chasing him to the ends of the earth, and they just blow up that poor ball of energy, but blood squirted out everywhere, and the double from Giannis Fan. This guy is on a tear, and, well, GG is finally called. NiP, they stay alive with beautiful push strats in both the first and third game. Giannis Fan redeems himself. 8 Mother as well. In that second game, a bit disastrous, and 4AC played a fantastic game with Matuma Man Slark. However, the third game, it got out of hand quick, and unfortunately, they could not bring it back. 4AC, their road to DotaPit Season 3 ends here after some amazing Dota. But F4L, what can you say about this series?
I mean, unfortunately for NiP, the draft really didn't lend itself to getting really far behind. I think there was just no AoE teamfight potential using the Naga Siren Sleep, and that's really what you have to do when you're falling so far behind in the early game. But, you know, I think it was honestly mostly just about the Centaur. I mean, all his timings weren't good. They tried to switch up the lanes, you know, move him top, then bottom, but, I mean, everywhere he went, he sort of just got shut down and was never able to find his footing in this game, and it pretty much cost them the game, I think. You know, had he maybe been able to get a faster blink, get more involved, you know, they wouldn't have gotten so far behind, and losing that Rex so early, especially in the bottom lane, it's just really rough to come back from losing a Rex that early.
Oh, same story for Matuma Man as it was for Giannis Fan in that last game, that game number 2. Very similar stuff. And in the end, though, NiP, they just made superior moves, I think, throughout the first and third games. And for ASC, well, the second game was fantastic, but they just couldn't take it in this third game. Maybe they could just last a little bit longer. Nemphy could have put in some work. Not bad a stat
you
line
just can't
for
lose
Nemphy.
a Rex that early.
No, just too rough.
Yep.
And that's right when the Lycan, the Wolf, was at their door, and they couldn't do much about it. But with that being said, guys, NiP moves on. 4AC, thanks so much for them to participating. And, of course, well, we'll see them in the future. But for NiP, they move on. And don't worry, we have one more game to go. For those of you that were here earlier, MYI versus M5, a best-of-3 series that, honestly, was pretty outstanding. It's going to end. We had to take a break, jump into the NiP versus 4AC series, and now Game 3 is coming up next. And that'll be the last game of the night, guys. Again, my name is Mont. With me is F4L. Make sure you guys follow us at Mont Dota on Twitter and at F4L Dota for my co-caster. Any comments, criticisms, concerns, shout-outs, what have you, Twitch chat or Twitter would be much appreciated. And, of course, shout-out to all the people working at DotaPit, dotapit.com, twitter.com/DotaPit. And we'll see you guys in just a bit for Game 3 of MYI versus M5.